and welcome back to part 7 of Pokemon Yellow. Last part was a filler part, so I apologize for that. But this part, we're gonna get some things done. We're going to explore the rest of the pathways that we didn't go through and move along the story, guys. I know. Last part was filler. We were just taking down trainers and exploring a route that I could have done later, so I apologize for that. But we're here for the ride and the journey. So this part is called Diglett's Cave, and the Pokemon that you'll encounter are, well, Diglett and Ductrio. They're very rare to encounter, but most of the time you'll encounter a Diglett, as you'll see here. We did see a Diglett before, so again, I don't know why I'm showing this off, but most likely because it's a wild encounter. But Digletts are ground type. They're very fast, by the way, so unless you're like level 50 in this cave, you're most likely not going to go first against them. And they tend to use Dig a lot, and what Dig does is you have one turn where you go underground, and then the next turn you just come right up and attack, and this inflicts elemental ground, so just keep that in mind. I decided to catch it. Again, we're not gonna have a Diglett in our team, so I know you guys are wondering, Afro, what? Like, the suspense is killing us. Like, what are you gonna have on your team? Keep watching and you'll find out, guys. Come on, like, you know the motto here. You know the motto. But Diglett's Cave is not hard to go through. It's like, you will run onto a Ductrio maybe, and that will probably kick your ass, but all the while, it's not that hard. Now here's where I made a fuck up. I thought for some reason I didn't need Cut to get what we need, so that's my fuck up. So we kind of explored that for no reason, but because we explored that, we can use instant transmission since we've been there before. Ah, see, I know you guys feel me. Come on now. So after another trip to the Pokemon Center, we're finally going to enter the SSN. So make sure you have the SS ticket on you from Bill, so that you'll be able to get on board the SSN. And the SSN is kind of like a mini dungeon type thing where you can enter the rooms of passengers, and some of them just talk to you, and some of them are trainers. You'll see it later on, but I probably was thinking about the remake, but I was trying to find a place to heal on board, and I couldn't really find a place to heal on board. So, and it takes me a while. I get my ass kicked here. I'm not gonna lie, guys. But we got TM808 Body Slam, and that's a great move too. It's a physical, normal type move that inflicts a nice amount of damage, and it also has the chance to paralyze. Definitely teach that to somebody. It will definitely help along the way. Who knows? Maybe we'll teach it to somebody. But in this part, we're just going to explore the SSN. We're going to go through every room, and if there's, again, an encounter that we can't really skip. Well, actually, I'm lying. Because most of these, or all of these rooms are optional, I will not show them off, but if it's a trainer type that we haven't seen before, or we encounter a new Pokemon, as the rules state, you guys know the rules, we will show off the battle. And I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are recovering from New Year's. I'm recording this 2 days after New Year's, so your alcohol poisoning, your poquito is not messing up your stomach. I'm doing fine. I have trying to go back on my shit. You feel me? Trying to be the best out here. I'm talking mad shit. No, but for real, like, I had a great New Year's. As mentioned, I watched the Grinch horror movie and the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. So Here we have a new trainer type. These are sailors. I was gonna try doing Mr. Krabs impression, but I can't do that. My voice doesn't go that deep, except for that one time in that part. And sailors tend to have water type Pokemon and also fighting type Pokemon because they're about strength and they're about the high seas. They aren't that much trouble. So again, we're here, and this is also another opportunity to train your Pokemon, build them up, because there's just so many things that are coming along your way. And you want to make sure that you're just ready, and your levels are equal to the ones that you're going to encounter. I hope that made sense. Sometimes I don't make sense of myself. But he also has a Tentacool, and Tentacool is a water poison type. So grass won't work on Tentacool, but electric will. So we have Jolts. Jolts is getting stronger. Everybody's just getting stronger, and that's the goal. We want our Pokemon to be strong so that we can one-shot everybody that comes our way. And this is just the front of the ship. The bow. I'm trying to remember SpongeBob. What's like the front of the ship? The bow. Stern. I think I got that right. I probably got it switched up, and you guys can come at me in the comments. I know my SpongeBob, but it's been a while. So don't because I'm a SpongeBob fanatic, so I can quote that shit every single fucking day. Just shit like that, like, you know, maybe I forgot a little bit. We're just exploring we're gonna explore the rest of the shit. This is where I was talking about, where I think it's in the remake. That's where you're able to heal your Pokemon. I was looking for one crazy because if you guys didn't know, or if you guys didn't see my Pokemon, their health is kind of crazy. Like they're not doing so well right now. I found a max potion and I ended up using it, but still, I was just trying to not use it and keep it in my inventory because, you know, items are always good to have. Items like that especially are good to have. So as you can tell, my Pokemon are not doing too well. If my voice does sound a little bit different, I wouldn't say I have a cold, but my allergies have been fucking me I don't know. So I've been drinking a lot of water, a lot of tea, making sure that my sinuses are the best that they can be. And I just spit a freestyle for y'all, and y'all didn't even know. I got bars. And that's a pause moment. Like, I like feisty kids like you. Like, hey, yo, that's the point where I initiate a battle. Like, this is where I want to throw their hands. Because, what are you talking about? Pause, bro. Here we got TM44. And we're going to check it right now. But TM44 is Rest. Rest is actually a really great move. And what it does is it makes your Pokemon go to sleep, and it heals it of any status ailment. So if it's poison, if it's burn, you can go to sleep and it will also heal it. Now, unfortunately, when you're frozen, you can't go, so you won't be able to use the move Rest. Rest is usually associated with Snorlax, which we'll get to later on in the playthrough, but I believe you can teach it to multiple Pokemon. I don't end up teaching it to anybody, but if you want to, go ahead. It's really nice. And that's where I also made a dipshit move where I tried to poison the Tentacool, forgetting that poison types cannot be poisoned. In later generations, I believe Tentacool has... I forgot the name of the ability, but the ability to... Like, if it's... Like, if you try to take energy... Like, you try to take health from it, you'll end up doing damage to yourself. And that's another thing. Abilities get introduced, I believe, in Gen 3, and whether or not they make the games more challenging or easier, that's up to your discretion. I kind of enjoy them. They kind of kind of throw me off guard when it's like against me, but when it goes against the opponent, I'm like, yeah, like burn him, paralyze him, so I can have more of an advantage. Also, I keep Leech Seed for a while, and I believe I actually keep Leech Seed for the rest of the game. It's not that powerful, but it saves you in a pinch, and trust me, like it really saves you in a pinch. It doesn't give you a lot of health back, but it just does damage to them, and sometimes you need that. I'm trying to remember. Oh, this is our first fisherman. This is why I'm showing off. Yeah, so this is a fisherman. They tend to have water type Pokemon, as their name implies, and they tend to also have Pokemon that are more of the like things you would catch it on your reel. So like any fish type, probably a clam. That's why you saw the Shelder. I try to be as knowledgeable as I can about this, but I'm not a Pokemon encyclopedia. That's where you go to Bulbapedia for, folks. That shit will teach you everything you need to know. Here's where I unfortunately use the Max Potion, not knowing that, yes, I can go to the I can leave the SSN and go to the Pokemon Center and heal my Pokemon. But you live and you learn. Hindsight is 2020. We're just about finished actually exploring the entire SSN. There's just one part we gotta go to before we get our MacGuffin. We gotta check the kitchen. We love to eat. We gotta see what's up. And if you check that last trash can right there, you get a Great Ball. And what a Great Ball is, well, I don't know why I like to talk to about some NPCs. But a Great Ball is just a better Pokeball. It gives you a higher chance of catching. Tripping over my words. It's a better Pokeball. It has a better chance of catching Pokemon. And that's all it is. I don't know. That guy will let you know that the Great Ball is in the trash. So, in case you didn't think of checking the trash cans, that guy will let you know. So it is kind of useful and helpful to talk to some of the NPCs. They do have some useful information. But if you've played this game a lot of times, and as long as I have, then you already know that the Great Ball is in the trash can. This guy's talking about how he's seen Snorlax, so against Snorlax, we'll get to later on in the playthrough. But it's sleeping. I keep forgetting that I named my one of the Pokemon HM Thought, and it just comes up on the screen, and I chuckle to myself. And yes, my voice just cracked. Don't judge me. Acting like y'all voices never crack. Another item that's actually useful for Nuzlocke runs, and we can talk about that after I'm gonna say what I'm saying, but I believe it's Ethers, because you can't really use it. Can you use Pokemon? Well, it depends on how you want your Nuzlocke run. But basically, Nuzlocks are, if your Pokemon faint, they're actually dead, so you can't use them for the rest of your journey. You have to catch more. But you can also add another stipulation where if you run into a wild grass, you have to catch the first Pokemon that you encounter. So, like say for example, you leave Pallet Town and you encounter a wild Rattata, you have to catch that Rattata, and you can't. If you fuck up, you can't catch any more within that route. So that kind of gives a little bit challenge to the game, where back then obviously it's a little bit easier. I had an Emerald Nuzlocke, but I never finished it because I couldn't be. What's his name? Juan. I was playing Emerald, so yeah, Juan. So I just I had it on my old save file. I'm trying to remember. I can't speak. We also have Ponyta. Ponyta is a fire type horse. That's all I gotta say about that. So gentlemen tend to have like exotic Pokemon. So Ponza, Growlithe. And here I reset the room so I can get that rare candy. So Nuzlocke, yeah, Nuzlocke are a challenge run of Pokemon. So if your Pokemon faint, they're dead. Catch catch the first Pokemon you see in a route, and then if you don't, won't be able to catch any other Pokemon in that route. What else? There are other stipulations that you can look again. Bulbapedia, you the GOAT. For the most part, yeah. Will I do a Nuzlocke? We'll see, but that shit too hard. I have to train. But this is where I found out that I can leave the SSN and heal my Pokemon at the Pokemon Center in Vermilion. So do so because we have another encounter with Dickwad. And you already know what I'm gonna say. He thinks he's the shit, but we're gonna bring him back down to earth. I believe this is where his Eevee evolves his Eevee evolves. I could be wrong, and I probably am. It's still pretty early in the game, but around like this point or the next time, yes, there's a next time, folks. He'll have his Eevee evolve into Jolteon, or at least for us, Jolteon. But he ain't shit. Notice how, like, actually, I don't think he did evolve it because none of his Pokemon are evolved, unlike ours. So we're gonna just kick his ass. Make sure that he eats the dust, eats the dirt, as Peter Parker would say. I'm gonna throw some dirt in your eye. Throw some dirt in his fucking eye. Let's do this. And he doesn't expand upon his team, I think, until the next time you see him. So he'll have the same 4 Pokemon. Not too bad. Yeah, so it is the Eevee. So I was right. It makes sense because none of it, the rest of his Pokemon aren't evolved. So why would his Eevee be evolved? So the next time you see him, his Pokemon will be evolved. And when's the next time we'll see him? Guys, you're asking questions you should know the answer to. You have to watch to find out. It's not rocket science, guys. I've mentioned it multiple times. And this guy, and after you beat Dickwad, he's saying how he got cut from the captain. So after that, you go check to see what's up with the captain. It's kind of crazy how you're a captain of a boat and you get seasick. Makes sense. Seems legit, right? So after we heal the captain in our very own personal Pokemon Center, I don't know why we can't use it for anytime we want. He gives us HM01, which is cut. And as mentioned a long time ago, in part 1, I said, HMs are moves that can be taught to. This is where I found out that Rattata cannot learn cut. That's where I was like, fuck. But HMs can be taught to Pokemon, and they cannot be replaced by like moves you want to learn later. And in Gen 1, you can't delete them at all. So like in future generations, there is a move deleter which can delete HMs, but here you have the HM forever. So just think ahead of who you want to learn. That's why you catch a Pokemon that you're not going to use on your team, like that's why we call them HM dots. And we make sure that they learn the moves and just use them for the HM, like use them for cut, flash later on, and then put them back into the box when you no longer need them. But yeah, cut can take down those little trees that you've seen. So what it means by when you beat Brock, that you can use cut outside of battle is you can go to the Pokemon section of your menu, hit the Pokemon that knows cut, and go and use it right next to a tree, and it'll cut it. But we're nearing the end of part 7. See you guys in part 8. We'll maybe take on the gym.